My name is Will Coleman, and on behalf of the University of Arkansas and the text program, I'd like to thank you for giving us this opportunity to not only see what you're doing here, but also to take time out of your schedule to talk with us. So thank you very much. So to get started, I'd like to ask just a little bit about yourself.
Yes.
So if you could please tell us your name and age.
Yes, my name is Kalden Chophel. Kalden Chophel. Kalden means right life. Chophel means spreader of doctrine, the dharma. So my good meaning, I guess. And I'm 48 years old.
Thank you. Kalden, can you tell us where you were born and just a little bit about your childhood, what you remember growing up?
Yes, I was born in McLeodganj, Dharamsala, very popular place you all know. McLeodganj, Dharamsala. So that time, it was a very deserted place there on that small, mountain ridge. His Holiness Dalai Lama, he's an exile, his home there, second home. So my childhood time in Dharamsala was very, it was, very deserted, small community. Almost everybody know each other. I was sent to school very late. At the age of 9, I was sent to Tibetan home school in Missouri, and I was put there for boarding school because parents were in extremely difficult conditions those days. So for 4 years, first 4 years, I didn't see my parents. I was in boarding school. So my childhood memories, in school, but Tibetan Homes Foundation gave lots of love and care for the Tibetan children. We had foster parents, so not so much, negative childhood life. It was good, it was normal for most of the Tibetans. Those times, were like that. But I used to miss my mom a lot at that time. I remember even today, when I was not able to see her for years, I thought, then one day somebody said, came looking for, Kalden, who is Kalden? Then I said, your mother asked me to bring you. So, 12-hour bus ride to Dharamsala. Then got off the bus and mother was waiting there. She looked so old. Actually, she was then maybe around, 38, 39. But for me, after 4 or 5 years, I was, like a kid. I thought, what happened to her? You grow so old, little bit white hairs there. Then I said, I don't want to go to school. I want to be with her. Yeah, but I was sent back to school again and like this. And then, you grow up, you get used to everything. And it's very fun. I was not good in academic subjects in school, but I realized that I had, being quite for a Tibetan, quite tall and not poor in the academic subjects. I used to be so embarrassed in the class because the education system of, then was, I think, so much lacking. They don't, other than, they say you have to study hard, you have to look at books. If they see me, doing other things, I wanted to learn painting. I had no support. My parents, everybody think, what you going to do? You just be useless. I said, I want to be, mountaineering. I want to go learn. Then I had no support. Nobody, my parents, then I said, I want to go to army, Indian Army. Also, my father was in Indian Army. Then, my father used to have 1 month holiday, come and see him. When he was posted to border areas, he couldn't even come to see in a year, So that's how they raised us. So then they have this, her experience, she said, no, don't go to army. You have a bad family life. So like that, so I didn't know, what I was good at. I ran away from school. Then I didn't have my parents sent me back to school in 1988. Then I ran away from school. I reached a place, after 24 hours or so journey in train. I got, Calcutta. I didn't know there's Calcutta there. So I have few hundred rupees. Then I went looking for a job. I got a dishwashing job in Calcutta. Then I was missing. So after few months, I was missing my mother again. Then I came back. Then again, I worked for so many different things. I was trekking guide for 12 years. First, I started with the porter. I was a porter. Then gradually I became a guide. So I got to meet lots of people from all over the world. That was the one very good time I enjoyed most, being a trekking guide. I got to meet lots of foreigners and different people from different cultures. Then I learned a lot from that trekking. In fact, my English also is, I used to say my English I picked up from the mountains. That's where I learned my English.
All right, so you already mentioned your mom and your dad, and it seems like you're pretty close to your parents. Yeah. Can you tell me just a little bit more about your parents? So if you know where they were born and what your mom and dad did?
Yes. My father is from eastern part of Tibet called Markham. Tibet is divided in 3 provinces, and one province is Kham. So he's from that region, warrior race people. My mother is from central region. It's called Sethang. It's in Utsang. They met this the first time when they were around 18, 19 years old after escaping over Himalayas to, they were in northeast of India, border, they came through that. And they said they were doing, all family members were engaged in road, labor, construction works. So said they met there first. And then they, when you like a first love, real love, then when you look at, something happens, right? The feelings. She thought, he's the right man, and he was also. Then my mother, sister, sister helped my mother also escape from Tibet, also because she was very. Then they put, she said, put strong restriction. No, you cannot, fall in love with this. You cannot get married, with a man from eastern part of Tibet. We are from, central region of Tibet. And no, they are dangerous people. If something's wrong, he'll beat you, he'll kill you, Khampa people like that. Then she said 3-4 years passed, and 1963, said he saw again, when she came with her sister Dharamsala, said he saw him again. He was after mules, 4 mules carrying slate. And then they said, again, she said, oh, he's here. And then they had affair. They decided to stay together. So mom, her sister, kicked her out of the house. And she said she stayed in a house with no roof for a few months. Then some friends helped. Her, friend from Tibet, childhood friend, girlfriend, helped her, gave her shelter, and they decided to live together. And my father, when he first went to Indian Army, he was getting 63 rupees monthly salary, and everything he makes, he collects. He comes to on the vacation holiday from Army. He gives in her hand, and he goes back. And we gave, 5 children give birth. I'm the oldest. Now today, even youngest one is also, is married. 3 boys, 2 girls. And my parents' life, I saw, is a big example for me how to spend husband and wife relationship. I've never seen my father even yell at her. When she passed, my mother passed away 2001. When she passed away, he was crying like a child, really. They miss so much. Throughout their life, they have so much love and respect. And you can say, Romeo and Juliet or Hirancha, something like that I can resemble to. I think so. Because immense love and respect between them. I've seen. Yeah, so we are three brothers. One brother died last year. Now one brother in Switzerland, another sister in Switzerland, and one sister in America, DC. So only me, from my brother and sister in India.
Thank you. You've already talked a little bit about your education. So just to follow up on that, do you think your education in exile was effective or useful? Did you think you really learned a lot, or it helped you start this business, or what was your impression of Tibetan education?
No, I don't think so. It's quite good. During my time, I think so many things lacking at that time. Still today, even I think so. The education they think is only books, books. You can be a good artist. You can be a good sportsman. You can be even doing any sports. You can be doing mixed martial arts. You can be doing karate. You can any sports name. Swimming. You can be professional, and you can earn a good living, and you can set an example healthily. Yeah, you can be a mechanic. You can anything. But in our society today also, look, in more than 55 years now in exile. In Europe, is there any Tibetan that can represent in the world football, in any international football clubs, any international games, I don't see, I don't know. Now young ones these days, in India, they are coming up slowly, it's happening. So I don't think, that helped me much. The education system needs lots of change, needs to really learn a lot, change things a lot. Still, it's not just book. The education is to have yourself prepare to confront challenging life in the future. So it's not just books. So I don't think my English helped me. That's I learned from trekking mostly. And yes. My business, when it comes to business, it helped me. I worked for a company called Basecamp Explorer. I was a trekking guide for this company. And Basecamp Explorer, I was their guide for 8 years. I'm good friends with the company's director, manager, and the owners. And I learned a lot from them about the business. My partnership before this business was one American man. I learned a lot from him also, to plan, to have vision, because most Tibetan business are like, start and have no vision. That is why look all the settlements, are lined up and join like a train, train, cabins, no space, no proper planning. So that taught me have some vision and proper plan and work hard.
And so moving into the business, how did you end up in Dekiyling? What brought you here?
I contacted one, when I was working in Dharamsala for this, American man. That time I had one man, my present, partner, Nawang. He was my staff in Delhi. Then we used to discuss and say that we can have some kind of our own company someday. And he used to inspire me, encourage me a lot, that to initiate, to start, let's come, start. And then he said, don't sit in that remote, in the mountains in Dharamsala. Just come out of there and let's go look outside. It was initially his idea to go and look around here. Then when he said about Dehradun, I said, yes, excellent, because I have been to school in Mussoorie, which is about only 30 kilometers from here. Dehradun is a beautiful city. It's not so big metropolitan, but it's, very beautiful city, and all the resources, food, everything, people. This valley is, from the British times, known for its education. very popular. So there are a lot of positive things, and close to Delhi also. Every half an hour you can get a bus transportation. There's a flight, there's trains, So looking at all these things, we said this is a very suitable place, so we came here.
What inspired you to start this business? What was your spark of inspiration?
Inspiration, what inspired me? I don't know what inspired me. Actually, just the place I worked before in few different places, other different professions. Most of the time, not really transparency is not there, and then how the people, workers, or you can say staff members are treated, there's discriminations. And I've seen some kind of this, even myself, I was working for a company as a manager, as a designer, but I was getting only 5,000, then later 6,000 rupees. So something's unfair. Then I wanted to start my own company where people are treated with respect and good pay and good work atmosphere, where people not just like you come there to pass your time. Workshop should be something neat and clean, and something interesting where you spend your one day, but spend with happiness, yeah, and you get. So I want to create something like that, and then I discuss, and my partner also has this kind of vision to create some institution, business institution, something like that. We aim to set up some kind of example in our community how to do a business, and not taking advantage of, poor people. Because he is poor, and because he have no job, you give job, and does that mean you can give 3,000 or 4,000, and because you're able to eat now, you work for me, It's not that. So we wanted to set up some example in our community. We know there are big businessmen in our communities who have a poor people, most Nepalis, Biharis, they work, and then they get paid, so it's like exploitation for me. So for that, triggered us, to have, we can do it, let's do. So we started.
So tell us a little bit more about Exile Creations, maybe like the history of like when you first opened up for business, and also your idea, like how you wanted to operate the business, the model you had, and also maybe like the history of the name.
Name Exile Creation, one of our mutual friend, he has, made some contribution in giving this name. We thought of so many different names, and we end up with this, and we're happy with this name. I think it's a very suitable name. So what's your main point? Sorry, I didn't.
So maybe the history of it, like what year this opened, and then what you had in mind, how to operate it.
Okay. Year we had couple of months, it took time to, painting and putting up this, wire systems, lights, and fixing those tables and everything, burners, organizing these things, all the burners we imported from Canada and so on. So that took, 3 months, but we had inauguration on 3rd January 2012. 3 people, me and my partner, and then we invited 4 monks from the, to bless our business project. And I think we were blessed. Now look, in 3 years, we have 32 people here. And next month, we are now having one more table here that will have a 12, workspace. And I'm more of a art, and then also this I see in myself, I manage mostly the art section and the production and dealing with the people. And my friend has a very good knowledge on, I think, management in general, and especially with the documentation, the paperwork and everything. So just myself alone is not possible. Him alone not possible. So two hands together, really good. Yeah.
Tell us what all you make here. What products do you create here?
We make glass beads, and that there is a company called Troll Beads in Denmark, and the owner of the company name, Lisa Ogod, she came first to Dharamsala in 2005 spring. She came there to start some project, and I got opportunity in that project, and I had 1 week course on bead making, and I worked 2 years for that company. Then after that, I left. I started another company in Dharamsala. In 5 years, we had 35 people from local Indians and Tibetans both there. Then after that, 2010 October, after 5 years, also I left that. Then we started here. So we are making lamp work glass beads, and we export all our products to Denmark for troll beads.
Is that all you make here?
Yes, that's all. We make glass beads, and we have a glass fusing, project. It's quite recently. We started only 6 months ago. So we hope next time you come, you will see our products, and we are very optimistic with that. Soon, you will see our works in Tibetan monasteries, or some for decoration pieces in some, houses.
Can you tell us a little bit more why you chose glass beads? Like if there's a
Glass
specific history
beads
behind them, or
I choose this because that's what I know. As I got this opportunity to learn, then I said, I have a passion for some artwork. Before that, I used to do calligraphy. I've done calligraphy. I teach calligraphy also, Tibetan calligraphy. So that then I do just any creation works. So I see that's in me. So when I got this opportunity to learn, I learned very quickly. In a very short time, I learned something because I have a passion for that. So that's I thought, I'm not stupid or useless person. I have this instinct. I can do with this art. Now I can do big thing in my community. Because when we were child, Tibetan government, Exile government, and from support from all over the world, our sponsors, they gave so much love and care, and we're capable now. Now is our time. When you're young, you're in Tibet. Okay, do something meaningful, something useful, not just for myself. Yeah, not just for ourselves, but create some place, leave a positive footprint after all.
So you already mentioned the number of people that work here. Can you tell us a little bit more about the people you employ? So maybe the demographics, age, or...
Mostly it should be, above 18 years of age, and not child labor. That's one main thing. Then, as long as you have good hands and good eyes, this is the only thing that matters, and you should have a will to, do something. Mostly, I think younger, when you are younger, from age 18, 20, 25, 30, that age, work better because you need really good eyesight and steady hand in this job. And not everybody, those who come here are successful. We have given here in 3 years more than 100 people, tests and trainings. Not all of them are successful because some people, cannot sit on one place for a long time. They, need to get up all the time, and yeah. So or either you have, you have no patience, is lacking. Is any artwork needs lots of patience and concentration. And so we have people, Tibetans from different parts of India. From south we have a couple of people. We have 4 that are totally deaf and dumb, but now they're very happy. Their parents are very happy, and we have 6 or 7 boys and girls that escaped from Tibet like 7-8 years ago and sent to Tibetan schools, but not able to finish their studies, or so they cannot go back now also. So they have not seen parents for 6-7 years, some of them. So they're here. A couple of them are here. They're happy. And we have from these settlements also we have people. So we hope in next 5 years we have a much bigger space, either here or outside. We first aim in next 5 years have 100 people working. Then we have a vision to create a little Tibet village someday. And then you get to see different kinds of artwork.
So you mentioned you have workers here who do have disabilities, some are deaf. How do you communicate with them? Is it like an official sign language, or is it something that you have come up with?
That was in the beginning, I thought it's very easy, have them, they don't talk, it's quiet and good, but it's not that. Then communication is, big problem. When you say just in general things, eat, go, sleep, why, where, how, easy. But to explain them, when I'm teaching them how to make beads, the beads have to be made, any kind of artwork. Like I tell them often, it has to come from heart. There has to be feelings with your artwork. You have to love yourself first, what you're doing. And there has as soon as you look at it, you get the feeling, when you get the feeling of the beads, that means, it's coming, the art is there, beautiful. So it has to come from heart. So that I have to explain them. So I said, how am I going to do this? I hired one lady from the Disabled Institute here. And then I said, how many times I have to, call her, I used to call her 2 times a week or something like that, then, one time. That's not working. So I said, I'm going to learn by myself sign language. Then I asked, one of the guys, can you teach me sign language? He said, yeah, 2 of them say, yes, we both. Yeah. So I learned. So I think now, 90% of communication I can do sign language. So that has solved a lot of big problem. So the communication gap is not there. So they don't feel, neglected. Also when we're talking, when we have a round table talk, they're also involved in talking. They are big, actually, part of our team. They are very important for this company.
Tell me how your employees come to work here. So maybe how far away they come, or if it's just local. And also tell me about their first couple, the training, what training they have to go through to work here.
They have to go through first 3 months of basic training. During 3 months, they will get only, like a pocket money, or what is a stipend money, 3,000 rupees they get, because we have lots of expenditure during, training. Glass rods, glass come from Italy, Murano. It's extremely, expensive. And then oxygen, and then the gas, everything, so it comes very expensive. So we give only, 3,000 rupees a month. And after that, they have to go again, with advanced training. After another 3 months, then after the first 3 months, then their salary go up, to very basic, 250 rupees a day. Then they should be able to make just sellable beads, you know, and maybe 30% of the production maybe rejects. Or so very intense training, you know, 7-8 hours of training every day. We work 8:30 in the morning to 1 to 2 lunch break, then 2 to 5:30. In between morning we have 15 minutes tea break, evening 15 minutes tea break also, because this job needs lots of attention and concentration. So just to, you know, release the stress, for just relax while outside. So 15 minutes they have break. They can.
We were talking about the workers and how they're training. I mean, you've mentioned pay before. So just as a good comparison, can you tell us what your average employee would make, and also tell us what an employee somewhere else might make, or maybe what other employees around here in the community, just show us the difference?
Okay, I don't know if I can say this or not. I will say, see, the next wall here, that's, you know, I can relate to just obviously here. They are, you know, they're making an apron. They have been making apron for more than maybe 40 years. And the masters there, the 3 masters that I know, I talk with them sometimes also. They make around, I don't know, around 4,000 a month after working maybe 35 years working as a teacher. And here in 3 years, we are able to pay around 18 to 20,000, you know, 18 is average, 1,000 a month. So that's, you know, maybe 600 rupees, 700 rupees a day, or 750 even. Then in the future, we want to pay even more. We're looking at, we consider in our business 3 things: people, planet, and profit. Very important to keep the balance between this. You make lots of business, but you destroy environment, nature, very bad. Also, you neglect the people, that's also not good, because all my life I work for others. For 100 rupees, for 80 rupees, for 600 rupees a month, I worked in so many places. Nowadays, so you can say, I think compared to many other in our community, in many, you can go see, Indian also, I think we're paying one best, Even just recently, there is Denmark, I think Sweden, some kind of organization or charity, that's called IM. They came, their directors came, and then they're really impressed with our pay and our work atmosphere, our quality of work. So, yes.
All right, so with such good pay, obviously it's good working conditions, how long do your workers stay here?
How long? From 8:30 to 5:30. That's how many hours? That's 9 hours. From 9 hours, you take a 1 hour lunch break and half an hour tea break, 15 minutes. So there's 7.5 hours they work. Yes.
How long do they?
And 6 days a week, Sundays off. And like any other company, they have, they can take leave, annual leave.
How long do they stay with the company from like day one to if they leave and do another job or go somewhere else? Do a lot of your workers here a long time, or are they only here for a couple months?
We have people who have been with me since from Dharamsala, who have been with me 6 years now. And I don't know how many more years they're here. We have people who came, had training, and left also. When we first have people, we explain them that we try to get some commitment that they work here after training, 3 years minimum. But it didn't work like that all the time, and we don't, we cannot force. We don't have them, because most of the people who come here are like, have some difficulties in their life. They come, not parents who are wealthy or who are educated or who can go to Yale University or who can work in Indian some companies, they don't come here. So with these kind of people, I cannot have them, sign legal paper and put them in difficulty. It's just, informal, just verbal talk that you work, you stay, can you stay, 3 years? They say, okay, you come join. And then after training, we just recently, one boy we trained for 6 months. He was becoming a really good artist, and he just left recently. I feel a big loss for him, but it's his life. I cannot, force him. What has to happen. So it's okay.
So you talked about the importance of the environment and the planet. What are you doing here to maybe reduce waste or make the most of the materials that you do have?
Yes. Also, I told you, when I was working as a guide for the base camp explorer, I visited one of the base camps in Africa also. And they are the company, they won, one time Global Clinton Award, and Africa, I think, most eco-friendly, business award. So these company, how they manage their dirt, their, the leftovers, everything, using like free chemical soaps in their camp to, solar light systems, water management, everything. The importance he would, emphasize on, the importance of, the nature preserving, and and so, always, when we go trek in the mountains, everything we, produce trash, everything we carry back down. Yes, and then global warming and everything. We hear a lot in the news, the polar bears, suffering because of, this, all these, we're seeing, and now because of the, the television, everything we're seeing, it's really, a serious matter. So we have some responsibility also. So we often talk on how we manage our glass, broken beads, how we manage our this glass residue. So I tell you, we come up with even we have we paint glasses from the community they bring here, and we try to create them some ball or plate or anything. So we control that, and we just recently, just last month, I went to one very beautiful place here. It's called Hatipao, elephant foot. The name of that mountain. That mountain is very important here because George Everest established Everest Research Center on that mountain top. And just after, when I was school, I used to go. After 27 years, I went just quite recently. One of my friends was going there in a car, and I said, we're going, he's going to mountain. And he know, I love mountain. He said, are we going to mountain? I said, can I join, please? Yeah. And I saw there's trash, garbage. People come enjoy there, and then, alcohol bottles, okay, juice bottles, everything. Tibetans also, love to hang up prayer flags, but nobody's there, actually cleaning up. The trees are, they're, wrapped with, these ropes and, strangling them to death. And so I said, I'm going to do something, clean up this and need to educate people. And I contact the one guy who works like a little bit kind of an activist in our community here. I approached him, and he said, yes, I'm ready. What can I do for you? Let's work together. And he organized it from Youth Congress, 10 people from Youth Congress, 10 from Women's Association, like this, and then we have 40 people. And we went up to the mountain, and I have photographs in my mobile, and we clean out, we brought all the trash back. One jeep, full, small. We cleaned that day 7 hours, and we organized, food, everything, pack lunch, took. Now we have group of friends actually who we call Friends of Nature. I gave this name, Friends of Nature. So from now on, every year we will do some we more organized, more systematic, some going to do. Every time I say to them, when you go to Dehradun city, it's so hot. When you come this way, it's cooler and cooler. I say, if we don't preserve now, we don't plant trees now, if we don't make this village green now, sooner we will also be like Dehradun. So then we try from our, whatever's possible from, like we funding the, like this cleanup. We give contribution from our, business. We're going to I think on His Holiness birthday on July 6th, we're going to organize tree plantation here. So like these kind of things, also the waste management things, I always try approach the community leaders and discuss, because it's a little bit neglected in these fields. This is what we try to do. Yeah.
So looking toward the future, what is your hopes for this business, but also your community that you help serve? What do you see in the future? What do you hope for in the future?
Our business, I think, will do very good. We are very optimistic. As long as we keep creating things and with the good quality, and compared to the price in the West, we are able to provide a very good price from here. So our market, in the next 10 years will be very stable, and we are going to grow quite big. And someday I think Tibetan people sitting in governments and ministers, they come to see this place, and they will bring other businessmen to come and take a look here. This, I think. We have been here 3 years now, and I see here most of the Tibetan families, parents, they have their shops in Dehradun or something, and they go open their shop. And then when the schoolies, have a summer vacation for 2 months, kids are, all running here, there, and no activities. And those parents who can afford or live with, concern, they send for extra classes, tuition, they organize them. But in general, students they just hang out or do nothing. So I approached the community leader and I said, we need to organize some extra classes for these children, because in Tibetans you will see we have no habit like you have in the Western culture. Book is a very good friend. You're learning, you're reading. Even if you are far away, Tibet, Milarepa, what's this doing, what Dalai Lama, everything you like to read, learn, and not. It's a very good way to learn also and gain knowledge. Here we're not that or custom practice in our community. So we say, then if you don't have this habit, and you have some system or something to organize some class, extra class for these 2 months, totally cut off from the book, and then you lose, because in this community, the success of education, in the last 50 years, the production, educated person, doctors, very, very extremely low, very scarce. Only one family that I know have, able to, mother who is working as a sweeper and cook, and 4 sons, child, 3 are doctors, 1 is a pharmacist. Only they're successful and very rare. So we say, okay, let's organize some extra class, or look for good teachers. We will pay salaries for those teachers. So we organize 2 months here, Tibetan, English, and mathematics classes. And then I think, more than 200 children, parents, they sent here. And then, so this, we're able to do this. So from now on, every, summer vacation, they will have this. Next time I want to do now, not just on education, If the kid is interested in sports, I want to have first some, local Tibetan, like any guy, young guy who is a good footballer, organize, use the school ground. We have a good school ground here. And then, some can be handball, table, any, sports. And then we want to help this, guy. If we make selection, then we want to help this, send in this Uttarakhand government, sports, club here, where you can go for training. So we want to organize that, for the next, project.
All right, my last question for you is, what are your hopes for the future of Tibet?
For the future of Tibet, I always believe in, the truth will ultimately prevail, China, we cannot fight back, no chance. But the change, Tibet is going to be free. It's a matter of time. The change will come from China itself. The communist regime, people holding powers, ultimately they're going to, collapse. And change, for democracy was, 1988 Tiananmen Square massacre. There, it's still inside there. Many people want now, they're trying to still keep the world, shut, control media, everything, channels. But now with today's, gadgets and everything, it's not possible, The more they cover, the worse it will be for them, So the change will come from there, and then it will, effect will go to Tibet, be free. I think Tibet can make a big contribution for the world. I think peace, especially peace and harmony. I think Tibet knew about all the mineral resources that Chinese are extracting now today. Tibet knew about that. From my parents, before generations, they knew about this, but they've always existed, in respect with the nature, no extractions. In the wildlife also, people eat only yak, sheep, 2 animals, traditional, and oldest one in the family. Herd, they eat. And so it's not like, poaching, hunting, and these things. People have existed peacefully with the nature and environment, and the animals, everything in the past. So it can make a big contribution in the future. Change will come from China itself. It will bring its effect to Tibet. And China, many Chinese will also benefit with our freedom. We both are interdependent. Nobody can survive independent in this world. I have lots of money. I'm king. I am dependent on my people. People are dependent. You are also dependent there. We're all interdependent to one another, the environment, people, and everything. So the more you live in peace, in harmony with the surroundings, it's better for myself also. So truth will ultimately prevail. They cannot, keep people blind. They cannot oppress for all time. It's going to end. It's a matter of time. It's taking time. Everything, right has fall. It's only a matter of time. Look.
All right, well, thank you again for not only showing us your business, but taking time out of your busy day to talk to us.
I enjoy it. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much, everybody, and for your concern, for your support for Tibet, for your interest in Tibet. Thank you so much, everybody.